Good Thursday evening and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Before we get to today's top news stories, let's take a beautiful look outside our weather window from this afternoon. And it was a gorgeous one, wasn't it, outside the Wenatchee area today? This from our Jump Off Ridge Sky-Fi Tower camera. You can see to the left center of your screen, Wenatchee Heights, and that's our cross camera that we use quite often here. But the overall picture weather-wise today, lots of blue sky out there. Temperatures not real warm today, a little bit above normal, but we are headed for some nice warm weather as we get into the upcoming weekend. Not so much tomorrow, I should say on Saturday, but tomorrow, another nice one with temperatures here in north central Washington into the lower 70s, and then a little bit cooler Saturday, maybe a morning sprinkle before we climb into the mid to upper 60s. And then beyond that, folks, it is going to be beautiful with high temperatures in the 70s. We'll have your complete north central Washington weather forecast coming up a little bit later on. And now a few of the stories we're following for you tonight. A Wenatchee woman told Wenatchee police she was stabbed in her sleep by her housemate on Tuesday, and it wasn't the first time. Governor Jay Inslee did not indicate Wednesday whether his stay home, stay healthy order would be extended beyond the May 4th deadline. And with a $26 million loss on the horizon from dealing with coronavirus, Confluence Health is cutting salaries starting at the top. But first we begin tonight. A single wide trailer, multiple vehicles, and 2 outbuildings were destroyed by a debris fire that burned out of control in Malaga Wednesday afternoon. But firefighters were able to prevent it from spreading to 2 nearby homes. Chelan County Fire District 1 said a huge debris pile was burning between 2 homes when crews arrived and had reached it to within 5 feet of a residence. That happened in the 4000 block of Concord Avenue. The fire was reported at 1:30 p.m. and crews had the wind-driven blaze contained to the debris pile and burnt cars by 1:46. The 2 destroyed structures were filled with a variety of household items, the fire district reported. Kay McKellar, public information officer for the district, said the fire is under investigation, but wind played a major role. She said people doing spring yard maintenance need to be aware of weather conditions and check with their local fire department before burning. Well, a woman told Wenatchee police she was stabbed in her sleep by her housemate on Tuesday, and it wasn't the first time. Officers arrested 53-year-old William Conrad Hewitt, who's now in jail on suspicion of first-degree assault. The victim said she believes Hewitt stabbed her while she was unconscious under the influence of medication. Police found her in Walla Walla Point Park with a non-life-threatening wound to her chest. She said Hewitt stabbed her at least once before in late February, which led her to be hospitalized. Police said Hewitt denied the accusation, but on Wednesday, Judge Leslie Allen ordered him held on a $250,000 bond, calling the allegations, quote, bizarre. He's not yet been charged. Well, Governor Jay Inslee didn't indicate Wednesday whether his stay home, stay healthy order would be extended beyond the May 4th deadline. He said there are signs COVID-19 cases and deaths are leveling off in Washington state, but also models showing that lifting the order could cause those numbers to spike again. Inslee said inadequate testing capabilities remain an obstacle before his order is lifted.
The most difficult thing we face is the testing kit supplies for the testing. And this is a huge frustration for all of us because we have ramped up the ability to do analysis, the ability of the laboratories to analyze the sample. It may be in the range of about 13,000 tests a day, plus or minus. But we're only doing about 4,500 tests. That's high. According to the Assistant Secretary, it's one of the highest ones in the world today, actually. But it's not as much as we would like as we go through this transition, because we will need more testing after the transition than before. That seems counterintuitive, but it is the case because we'll have people coming back to work who are going to want to get tested and potentially isolated if necessary. And the reason is we simply have not had enough test kits, swabs, viral transport medium, the vials. This sounds kind of ridiculous, and it is, but they simply do not exist anywhere in the United States right now. So we have been on a huge buying spree, searching the globe for this material. We've had some good breakthroughs the last 48 hours. We have about 1 million test swabs coming into the state right now, which are just, we're so happy about that. And vials and test medium. We also have, we hope, new FDA guidelines that will allow a different type of swab that can be used, almost like a Q-tips, and that will really help us on this aspect. But that's the biggest challenge right now. I think that will be the biggest hurdle to climb.
In other news, with a $26 million loss on the horizon from dealing with the coronavirus, Confluence Health is cutting salaries starting at the top. The Wenatchee network of hospitals and clinics announced Wednesday that CEO Peter Rutherford would take a 25% salary reduction with 10% salary cuts for his executive leadership team. The cuts trickle down to department heads and managers with salary reductions between 3 and 7.5%, and to its clinicians who will take 7 to 10% salary losses. The reductions are temporary while Confluence deals with the demands of COVID-19. Back in mid-March, in order to slow the spread of the virus, the network stopped performing elective procedures. But those procedures bring in most of Confluence's annual profits. Coming up next, new Chelan County Jail Director Chris Sharp wasn't expecting to take over the job of managing hundreds of inmates during a public health crisis. To help communities stay connected while social distancing is the law of the land, the Chelan PUD wants to help establish free Wi-Fi hotspots throughout its service area. And despite rumors to the contrary, the Forest Service says the Okanagan-Wenatchee National Forest is not closed. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
Bring the whole family up to Stormy Mountain Brewing and local public house in historic downtown Chelan. Applewood smoked brisket, street-style tacos, and our award-winning barbecue rubs and sauces. Our meals pair perfectly with our exciting lineup of craft ales, made right here in Chelan. We've got room for big groups, or give us a call for catering. So grab the kids and check out the fun at Stormy Mountain Brewing and local public house located in the heart of Chelan.
When it comes to finding a memory care community, you want the very best. You want to know that your loved one is safe and receiving compassionate care in a loving environment. Fieldstone Memory Care is an innovative assisted living community designed for those with Alzheimer's, dementia, and Parkinson's disease. You'll find a community specifically designed to enrich residents' lives. The Fieldstone team is here to help you navigate the important decisions you face when a loved one has dementia or Alzheimer's. Welcome home to Fieldstone.
Aging and Adult Care offers many in-home care options and services for seniors and family caregivers. But did you know they also offer free in-home delivered meals? Aging and Adult Care has expanded its program for home-delivered meals to help elderly and vulnerable adults at this challenging time. If you are in need of prepared meals or know someone who could benefit, call Aging and Adult Care for more information about free home-delivered meals. Call 509-886-0700.
Welcome back. In another news, new Chelan County Jail Director Chris Sharp wasn't expecting to take over the job of managing hundreds of inmates during a public health crisis. But he says the Chelan County Regional Justice Center is doing its best to keep inmates and staff healthy. He and County Commissioner Bob Boogert spoke with NCWLIFE reporter Jefferson Robbins.
As of today, of the preventive measures we put in place, I think have prevented us from having a positive COVID-19 in our jail. Doesn't mean we won't get one, but right now, as of today, we still have not had one. One of the things we first did was we put booking restrictions in effect. So local law enforcement minimizing the amount of new people we'd be bringing to jail. What that means is we will accept all felony arrests. We still are accepting felony warrants. However, on the misdemeanor and the gross misdemeanor side, we are only accepting the mandatories, which would be our DUIs and any domestic violence charges. We've also let our local law enforcement know that we would also take somebody that maybe was going to get charged with a criminal trespass or disorderly conduct, but the officer felt that they were going to be a severe public safety risk if they were not moved into jail. So we're taking those into consideration. However, we did start this with about 200 inmates in our jail population March 19th, and within a week we were down to about 130. We're hovering between 130 and 150 currently with booking restrictions in effect. We are screening every inmate before they're booked into jail, so our staff and medical staff are meeting the arresting officer in our Sally Port, which is a semi-secure area. We're taking their temperature, we're asking them some screening questions, making sure that they're not hitting any of the marks that we don't want to accept. Most of our housing units that house about 15 to 18, there's 3 and 4 people in those cells right now because our population is so low. So yeah, I think one cell we have 10 people in it, but that cell is designed for 32. So we're doing a pretty good job of being able to manage the population we have right now. As far as we can't make them in the cell stay 6 feet apart, but we educate them and recommend them. But also for them, those ones that have been in there, their risk of contracting the virus is very, very low, actually. They're not out in the public. They're not leaving their cells. They're not touching things they shouldn't be touching. I mean, they're quarantined. Their biggest threat is us. So we are making sure we do our best to be socially distant from them. We actually did have one staff member, his spouse had contracted the COVID-19. So his doctor, he was screened and tested and he was negative. But on recommendation of his doctor, he was isolated for 14 days. As far as the rest of the staff, to my knowledge as of today, we haven't had any other cases of it. We've also briefed our staff daily. If you feel sick, don't come to work.
To help communities stay connected while social distancing is the law of the land, the Chelan County PUD wants to help establish free Wi-Fi hotspots throughout its service area. The PUD launched a plan this week with local internet providers to set up 50 or more Wi-Fi zones in public places starting in the next few weeks. Exact locations for the $40,000 project are still to be determined. The Wenatchee School District and Greater Wenatchee Area Technology Alliance also announced a program this week to let students check out mobile Wi-Fi hotspots from local libraries. That should enable students to carry out their online work for the rest of the school year when they might not otherwise have access to the internet. Well, despite rumors to the contrary, the Forest Service says the Okanagan-Wenatchee National Forest is not closed. Trails, undeveloped areas, dispersed camping, and most roads are still open. Confusion likely stems from the Forest Service's announcement back on March 27th that it was closing developed recreation sites in response to the COVID-19 outbreak. That included campgrounds, snow parks, restroom facilities, rentals, fire lookouts, and most trailheads. But the Forest Service says there are other places recreationists can legally park on roadsides, then walk or bike into a trail. Still, some specific roads and high-use areas have been closed completely, such as Icicle Road near Leavenworth and recreation areas along that route. You're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News. Coming up next, tonight's feature story and your complete local weather forecast. That and much more still to come on the NCWLIFE Evening News. Stay with us.
Hi, this is Brian Snyder with BlackRock Asphalt Services here in Wenatchee, your local BlackRock Seal Coat company. Have you looked at your driveway or parking lot lately? Is it gray and oxidized? Does it have cracks that have not been taken care of? Or do you have striping that is pretty much non-existent? Please give us a call locally here, 509-665-9769. Learn more at BlackRockAsphaltSealCoating.com.
Traditional values and innovation in honoring the life of each family we serve is part of the ministry of Heritage Memorial Chapel. Our staff is committed to walk with your family with compassion through this time of grief. We are here to help and here to serve, the right kind of help when you need it most. Heritage Memorial Chapel.
Welcome back to the NCWLIFE Evening News. Well, this tweet from musician and actor Ice-T reminded many of us that yesterday was the 26th anniversary of the premiere of Surviving the Game, the 1994 action movie shot almost entirely in Wenatchee and the Lake Wenatchee area. Local residents got to witness much of the filmmaking firsthand while it was being shot. It was around town back in 1993, and it's still acknowledged as a home video cult classic today. In tonight's feature story, a look back at surviving the game.
Why would you want to kill yourself? Maybe I like the idea of choosing when I die instead of having somebody else choose for me. If someone offered you a good job, would you be interested? What kind of job are you talking about? We need someone to help us with our hunts out in the wilderness.
Are you sure about this one?
Oh, I'm sure.
Has he got courage?
Gentlemen, I would like you to meet our new hunting guide, Mason.
Here's a toast to the hunters and a prayer for the hunted. The hunt begins now.
Just let me get the door for you.
Go. We're not really gonna hunt him, are we?
He's nothing. He's less than nothing.
Come on, Mason! I won't take any part in this.
I want you!
Think. If you make it to civilization, you live. If you don't, maybe God will have mercy. I think he's gone back to the cabin.
None of them has ever done that before.
Mr. Mason! What's that smell?
Everybody out of the cabin!
I like my meat rare.
Try well done, bitch.
Jack Mason knows he's going to die someday.
Damn, I wish I'd never started smoking.
But today, he's not in the mood.
This is where it gets interesting.
Never underestimate
Come on, Mason!
a man who has nothing to lose. Rutger Hauer, Charles Dutton, Gary Busey, F. Murray Abraham, William McNamara, and Ice-T. Surviving the Game.
Bang!
Directed by Ernest Dickerson.
Time now for a check of your North Central Washington weather forecast, and surviving the weather has been easy for us here in North Central Washington. 63 unofficially, our high temperature today. That's just a click above 62. That's normal. 36 our overnight low this morning. 41 is our normal low. Record high, a beautiful 76 back in 1999. Record low in 2006 at 30 degrees. Sunrise this morning 6:09, and the sun will set tonight at 7:52. Not a lot of clouds to show you. In fact, high pressure right here in control of our weather right now. There is all kinds of stuff going on around the western United States, but for the most part, we are quiet for tonight. Clear and mild. And look, clear skies all around the inland and Pacific Northwest. Friday, we'll enjoy some sunny skies too. Tomorrow will be absolutely beautiful with light winds. We will see warmer temperatures move in as well. A little bit of rain shower activity is beginning to slide down from Canada. That's late Friday night into Saturday morning, and we could see about a 20% chance for maybe just a morning sprinkle or two on Saturday, then mostly cloudy skies in the afternoon. We will continue to be warm though. Saturday's high once again right around 70, and then for Sunday the weather really gets nice. Mostly sunny skies, dry and warmer. Area of high pressure right here and also to the south, bringing lots of warmth into the Pacific Northwest. We're talking temperatures in the mid 70s both Sunday and into Monday. Our unseasonably warm weather continues. Here's our ridge all the way up along the British Columbia coast, and that allows all that warmth to move up from the tropics, and that's why we're seeing temperatures about 10 to even 15 degrees above normal right now. Tuesday, mostly sunny, still warm, and then things begin to transition a little bit as we get into Tuesday night and Wednesday. Here's our area of high pressure. It's getting forced down to the south a little bit, and that's allowing a very moist westerly flow to move in. So by next Wednesday, showers will be likely. Only 30% chance from the Weather Service right now, but I think that'll go up as we move a little bit closer to Wednesday. Slightly cooler as well, but not a whole lot cooler. We're talking temperatures in the mid to upper 60s. Here's your 7-day Patriot Plumbing, Heating and Cooling forecast. 43 tonight, 72 tomorrow, 73 on Monday, and we will stay in the mid 70s Monday and Tuesday, and then those showers on Wednesday with a high then of 68. And that's a look at your local weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
I'm Tom from Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. At Alpine Air, we think of ourselves as customer service-oriented retailers. When you make an appointment, please visit our store, meet our people, see our shop. We are serious about heating and air conditioning. Carrier and Alpine Air are offering huge factory rebates and financing options for all your needs. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air. Call for your free replacement estimate. Heat and air, call Alpine Air, 662-6846.
And now it's a sports update on the NCWLIFE channel.
And a happy Thursday to you, staying home and staying healthy. I'm Eric Granstrom on the NCWLIFE channel. Well, following the devastating decision by the state to close school in person for the rest of the year, administrations have been wrestling with moving forward. For Eastmont Athletic Director Russ Waterman, that means planning for life to being somewhat back to normal by the fall and pushing ahead with scheduling the athletic seasons. Waterman joined me on a Zoom video conference here the other day to discuss the fall and what impacts there might be on the athletic budget moving forward.
We've had the fall schedule set since probably mid-November. So football and volleyball, girls swim, cross country, volleyball, those are set. They're, non-leagues are set, tournaments are set, and we're ready to go. And even to the most part, most of winter is set right now, with a lot of things hanging in the balance with basketball, with a WIA amendment to move from a 20 to 24 game season. So we're still finagling some things there, but I think that's put in place. That's not going to affect us, at least in the Big Nine. That schedule for most, at least for Eastmont, I know that we're set for all of our maximum amount of games that we can do.
Budgetarily speaking, with the lack of sports that you've had this spring and a ton of athletes that you would normally have had to shuttle all over the eastern part of the state for activities, can you bankroll that for next year? I don't know how the budgeting works, or is that basically the end, what is it, June, July is your end of your fiscal year, you start a new one and you start from scratch, or how does that work?
Well, we've been just briefly speaking about this. When you look at the global perspective of finance, this has been something new for us, and kudos to our building principals and teachers in the district that have gone from a brick and mortar system in 1 to 2 weeks to a remote learning system. And we all know it's not perfect. We know that, but the passing out of Chromebooks to those that need it, I think it was 450 Chromebooks were passed out at Eastmont High School alone, so people can access things. I know that Localtel and Spectrum and local internet providers are giving free internet for homes for our community so kids can continue to learn. That comes at a price tag. That comes at a cost. And so I would be very hesitant to say that anything that we don't spend in athletics is going to be bankrolled and moved into athletics, because there might be a greater need academically for that. So that conversation really hasn't happened at the district level.
Wenatchee Athletic Director Jim Beeson works a couple of days out of his office in the school and the rest of the days from home. He said that they're trying to do what they can to recognize senior athletes.
We're taking part in the Be the Light thing every Friday night. We're turning the lights on for 20 minutes. We're honoring each team, kind of like Eastmont is. Every week we're doing a different team, and our booster club is putting that out in Facebook and other avenues that they're putting out. Like this week I think is soccer that they put out there, and we're not doing anything specifically at the stadium in terms of, we had talked about trying to announce the kids or do whatever, but there's really no road necessarily that drives right by the Apple Bowl. It's difficult to do, and we don't want people stopping and gathering. It defeats the purpose. And so it's little, but that's what it is. The Booster Club is trying to work with the city to hang banners as opposed to apple blossom banners, maybe printing banners up front and back with seniors on them and hang those, making up yard signs, trying to work with you guys and do a senior night deal and do a signing night deal. I mean, it's never going to replace their senior season and the ability to go out and compete. There's nothing that you can do that can replace that, but just trying to make them feel a little bit more, the understanding that everybody's trying to think about them and trying to do something positive for them. But in the end, nothing's going to replace going out and playing games. Anybody that was an athlete knows that, and it's that competitiveness in you that makes you a good athlete. And whether you're playing in front of nobody or 200,000 people, it doesn't matter. It's just you want to go out and play.
We'll have more with Beeson coming up tomorrow. You can see my entire interview with Russ Waterman on our website at ncwlife.com. Well, outgoing voice of the Apple Sox, Joel Norman, was able to catch up via video conference with a former Apple Sox pitcher who's now in the major leagues, Troy Stainbrook. He said his time in Wenatchee for a summer was invaluable.
I think it was a great period of growth for me. You know, coming from college where I was a starter, I kind of got to come out of the back end of the bullpen with the Apple Sox. And I've kind of fit right into the role. I felt like my stuff kind of matched up with what was asked of me. I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed the people. I think the community aspect of the Apple Sox was something that, I mean, in summer ball, it's something you're looking for. And it's something that I really enjoyed.
So after the season wrapped up, you get drafted in the 30th round by the Washington Nationals. And just tell me what that was like, getting that call and realizing I'm a professional athlete. How cool was that?
Yeah, well, I mean, it was a little. The injury made it a little scarier than we wanted it to. I think that obviously, you know, with the whole elbow issue being kind of up in the air at the time, I was doing rehabs, and we weren't really sure if the rehab was going to work or not. The Nationals took a chance on me. I'm extremely grateful for that. I was actually out on the golf course with my dad during the last day of the draft, and we were like, you know, just try to stay busy, try to keep our mind off of it. And I think probably around the 25th round, I looked at him and I said, I don't think it's going to happen. I think everyone's too scared of the elbow. And then I get a call, and I mean, I was a little emotional for sure. Definitely just like that, my life changed for sure. Very special day for me.
Stainbrook is hoping to get his career underway with the Nationals sooner than later. The West Coast League and the Apple Sox also still shooting for a season opener the first weekend of June. You can see the entire interview with Joel and Mr. Stainbrook on the Apple Sox Facebook page. Well, the NCW Life Channel sports programming schedule continues tonight with Hockey Night. The Wenatchee Wild host the Cowichan Valley Capitals, and BCHL action from the Town Toyota Center is back on January 17th. Arch Ecker has the play-by-play coming up at 7 o'clock tonight. Another great game of our past will air tomorrow night, and the Bridge of Sportsmanship from 2016 Eastmont in Wenatchee football, 7 o'clock on Friday. Saturday features Wenatchee and West Valley Girls District Soccer Championship game from 2017. That'll be at 2 o'clock, and that'll be followed by Wenatchee Valley Rams against Tri-Cities and a playoff football game from July of 2016. That'll be Saturday night at 7. Just some of the programming ahead. That's a look at sports news. I'm Eric Granstrom. Grant, back to you.
Nice work, Eric. Thank you. And now let's check in with Dan Kuntz for a look at what's coming up tomorrow morning on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Dan?
Thank you, Grant. Tomorrow is Friday. We love Fridays around here because Fridays are followed immediately by Saturdays and Sundays. And for many people, we call those the weekend. That's good planning. Think about that. You would want to have Saturday, Tuesday, Sunday. That doesn't make any sense. You can get your weekend going right. We're going to be talking to Jeff Enos, who is with the U.S. Census Bureau. We'll be talking to Jeff via Skype to maybe get some insights on why us here in North Central Washington are not quite filling out our census forms in a timely manner. They'd like you to, well, if you're sitting at home, at least fill out your census form. That conversation with Jeff will be coming your way on Friday, plus everything you need to get your weekend going. Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, live and local at 7 a.m. tomorrow from this very studio. Grant, back to you.
Thank you, Dan. And folks, make sure you tune in next week when we give Dan a much-needed haircut. And that's going to do it for our newscast tonight. For more on these stories and other news from around North Central Washington, you can find us on Facebook or our website at ncwlife.com. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. You can send us an email at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-6295. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks for joining us, and have a great night.
With TV advertising, what we want to do is more deeply connect with the community.
People spot me in different parts around North Central, Costco and Wenatchee, say, hey, you're the pizza guy. And so they wouldn't know that if it weren't for the TV commercials we've done.
We've been here so long that people already know who we are and what we do, but to have that
image flash on their television screen as opposed to just hearing it in the radio or seeing it in the newspaper. I just love the fact that we can actually put our finger on when a customer comes in and says, I saw your ad.
It's becoming increasingly difficult in this digital age to know where are your customers listening or watching, because I watch all the different channels that they watch too, like Cooking Channel, History Channel, and so it was wonderful to be able to be on there.
I would say that if you want to do business in Wenatchee, then you should connect with the people of Wenatchee, and there's no better way to do that.